Hey guys, welcome back to Whiskey Blooded. My name is Dave. Thank you for joining me here today. This is Whiskey Blooded. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're a current subscriber and you're returning back to the channel, thank you so much for that. My name is Dave, and here I review whiskey and scotch and beer and spirits and all kinds of different anything alcohol related for you. Normally whiskey though. Today we're actually going to do something a little bit different. We're shooting this video here from in my office because my family's already gone to sleep. And we're doing a beer because this week was an annual release of a Founders beer, which is a Michigan beer company. You can get Founders in many different states, but it's very popular here in Michigan. So today it was, we're going to be reviewing Founders Backwoods Bastard, which is their annual release beer that they have. It's only out in November. It comes out yearly, and we're going to review their 2016 release. I've never tried it except for the bottle that I tried before this video. So I've never tried it before. This is new for me. It'll be new for you guys. And because I don't review beer a lot, A, give me a little bit of lenience here. B, you'll get it from a kind of amateur perspective. And then C, I'm not going to do the overall score out of 100. I'm just going to give you like a good, very good, excellent, not good. I'll give you that kind of rating on this one, since this is a, my kind of little small venture into beer here a little bit today. So let's look at the box. So this is Founders Backwoods Bastard. It is an ale aged in oak bourbon barrels. Once again, it comes out once a year. This is the 2016 release. It ran me about $15 for the 4-pack, so it's not cheap. It is, as it says, aged in oak bourbon barrels. Here's the bottle itself. Looks just like the box. It is 11.2% alcohol by volume. Read you the back of the bottle here for the 2016 release. Expect lovely, warm smells of single malt scotch, oaky bourbon barrels, smoke, sweet caramel, and roasted malts. A bit of earthy spice, and a scintilla of dark fruit. It's a kickback sipper made to excite the palate. So let's pour one out here, guys. I have a, there we go, I have a glass here, and I have a bottle opener. Use my oak bourbon barrel stave bottle opener here that someone gave me for Christmas to open this guy up. So cheers to reviewing some beers. That was so cheesy. All right, let's pour this one out here. Now, I don't pour a lot of beer. I know you're supposed to get a little bit of action to it, but not too much. So I think that should be pretty good. I think you want like a little bit of a head on the top here. There we go. I don't think that's a bad pour. So guys, look at this one. It is very dark in color. Very dark in color. It's brown bordering on black. And I can tell from this video it's going to come out looking kind of black. Maybe I can get a little closer to get some of the brown off. Nope. But it's a very dark brown bordering on black, which with that extra age to it, I'm guessing that adds some of that dark flavor or dark color to it as well. And the nose on this one, I don't do this a lot with beer, so this is new for me. But you definitely get a lot of malt. I actually get a lot of like floral notes. I get it's actually probably more that caramel. I get like a caramel smell. As far as like the floral goes, it's more of a smelling like a little bit of like a rose smell to it. That's probably part of that malt, and that's probably part of the sweetness from the oak that I'm smelling there too. I don't smell much of that spice they were mentioning, but I'm guessing because it's overpowered by the malt smell. As far as the taste of this one goes, so cheers, guys. Happy Whiskey Wednesday, or happy Beer Wednesday to you. That's really good. So it's thick, really sits there in your mouth. The first thing I taste, right up front are those malts that they had mentioned. So it's malty, like a very light scotch. And then after that, some of the beer taste sets in. So the caramel, or the caramel, the vanilla that they mentioned. I get a little bit of hops. I get that darker flavor, like roasted peanuts. And then after that, it's kind of following through with maybe a little bit of that spice that they had mentioned, but it's more of a like a fruity spice for me. So that's kind of what I get. Yeah, oh, that's what they mentioned, dark fruit. I'm getting a little of the earthiness that they had mentioned, but it's more for me, it's the caramel, it's definitely smooth because of that bourbon barrel. To me, it's not at all, for me, it's hard to even say that this is like a beer to me because it's so smooth, especially at 11%. It hides that very, very well. There's not an overpowering amount of hoppiness, so it's not like an IPA. It's not like bursting with hops. Excuse me, that's definitely toned down here in this ale with the age in the bourbon and the bourbon barrel. So it's smooth, it's good drinking, it's got a bunch of neat flavors to it, it's complex, yet balanced. I usually don't like super heavy beers like this, and I really like this one, but I think it's because it's smoothing everything out with that bourbon finish. It's actually quite good. You can taste a little bit of the sweetness of the bourbon in the beginning, and then at the very end, when you're getting some of the dark fruit notes, you get some of that sweetness from the oak bourbon barrels back. So as far as what I think about it, I mean, price is beer price. I mean, it's not cheap. It's $15 for a 4-pack, but it's not awful either. I'd love to see it $15 for a 6-pack, but you know, they can only release so much of this stuff. It's hard to find, so that's not fun. But it's not like, you know, it's not like super rare whiskeys. If you guys have been looking for any of the antique collection stuff, you can actually find this stuff, which is cool. And it's probably even easier to find outside of Michigan because people probably look for this stuff like crazy in Michigan because it's local. Overall, I would say it's bordering between, for me, I'm just going to put it right at very good. It's not excellent for me because there's a couple other annual release beers that we have here in Michigan that I think are a little bit better than this, just overall for my taste preference. But it's a cool spin on beer. A lot of the stuff that's done are aged in bourbon barrels. I don't end up liking as far as beers. But this one really hits it on the mark. They've done the aging correctly there, and it's the right kind of beer to have that bourbon finish on it. So I really like that. I would recommend you guys pick it up, especially if you're in the Michigan area, if you can find some. And let me know what you think. I'll be back next week. We'll do whiskey again next week. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll do some whiskey. You guys have had some great suggestions. I'll be getting to those. So thanks again for joining me. Hope you had a happy Halloween, by the way. And cheers to you guys. See you next time.